Hello and welcome. We are discussing PYQs of time, speed and distance, and our theme was formula based problems. We have solved two problems already. Let's solve next problem. Next problem is, if a bus travels 160 km in 4 hours, and so bus is traveling 160 km in 4 hours. This is all about bus. And train travels 320 km in 5 hours. So let's talk about train. It is traveling 320 km in 5 hours at uniform speed. Then what is the ratio of the distances traveled by them in 1 hour? Now, distances traveled by an object in 1 hour is nothing but the speed of that object. Okay, so let's calculate speed of the bus. Speed is given by distance upon time. Distance of the bus is 160 and time taken by bus is 4. So speed of the bus should be 40 kilometer per hour. This is what speed of. Let's talk about train. Speed of train should be equal to distance traveled by train, which is 320, and time taken by train, which is 5. So 5 6 are 30, 5 4s are 20, so 64 kilometer per hour. What we are looking for? We are looking for their ratios. The speed of bus is what? 40, and speed of train is what? 64. So 8 5s are 40, 8 8s are 64, so ratio should be 5:8. Option B should be the right choice. Kindly make a note of it. Kindly make a note of it. Hurry up. Now, some of you may wonder, sir, values were almost same, 5 and 8 and 5 and 8. So why not option A is correct? The reason behind it is, in this question, examiner was talking about bus first and then he was talking about train. So we should write down number associated with bus first, and then we should write down speed of the train. So that is why 5:8 is the right answer. I hope this is clear. Let's move on. Next question is, Mr. Kumar drives to work at an average speed of 48 km. So his average speed is 48 km per hour given to us. The time taken to cover first 60% of the distance is 10 minutes more than time taken to cover the remaining distance. Okay, so 60% of the distance, right? So first time taken to cover first 60% distance, let's see, it was what? It was X. It was T minutes. Suppose it was T minutes. Okay, and this T minute, this time taken to cover first 60% of the distance was 10 minutes more than the time taken to cover remaining distance. See, when we talk about complete value, completion in terms of percentage, so completion in terms of percentage is 100%. If 60% of the distance has been covered, so remaining distance should be what? 40%. Time taken to cover this remaining distance is given to us. It is what? It is 10 minutes less. It is what? It is 10 minutes less than the first 60%. Okay. Then how far is the office? We have to find out distance of the office from his place. Okay, now I can see in this scenario whether we are talking about first 60% of the distance or we are talking about remaining 40% of the distance, both the distance covered by Mr. Kumar with same constant uniform speed, same constant uniform speed. So I have told you earlier, if speed is same, if speed is same or constant, then ratio of distances covered must be equal to ratio of time taken. So distance covered in the first case is 60%, distance covered in the second case is 40%. So it will be equal to ratio of time taken. So see, zero, this percentage gone, 6 0 0 gone, 2 3s are 6, 2 2s are 4. So ratio of time taken from here becomes what? It becomes 3:2. Ratio of time taken from here becomes what? It becomes 3:2. Now try to understand. In this case, if you assume that time taken to cover first distance, that is time taken to cover 60% of the distance, was 3 unit, and time taken to cover remaining distance was 2 unit, then the difference between these two timings should be what? 1 unit. And as per question, this 1 unit must correspond to 10 minutes. How come? See, time taken to cover first 60% is 3 unit, time taken to cover second 50%, second 40% is 22 unit. So difference between these two timing is of 1 unit, and as per question, difference between these two timings is of 10 minutes. So 1 unit will correspond to 10 minutes. So 3 unit will correspond to 30 minutes, and okay, so and 2 unit will correspond to what? 20 minutes. Okay, so time taken to cover 60% plus time taken to cover 40% will give me the total time. So total time should be 30 plus 20, that is 50 minutes, and 50 by 60 hours. Now you know speed, you know total speed or speed throughout, which is 48 km per hour. You know total time, which is 50 upon 60 hours. So distance must be equal to speed, which is 48, into time, which is 50 upon 60. Let's solve this. 0 0 gone, 6 8s are 48, so 8 5s are 40 km. So distance of his office is 40 km far away from his place. His office is 40 km far away from his place. Okay, I hope guys this is clear to everyone. Kindly make a note of it. There is one more way of solving this question. I'll explain that as well. So I hope this is clear. Now, if you don't want to utilize any kind of ratios here, you just want to solve this question through formula only, then what to do? Then in that case, speed is given to us, which is 48 km per hour. Let's say total distance. Assume total distance to be x kilometer. Okay. Now it is given that first 60% of the distance has been covered in some is covered first. Okay. So speed is 48, right? Distance, total distance is x. So 60% of total distance is covered at what? Is covered at 48 km per hour. 48 km per hour. So this will distance upon speed will give me the time taken, will give me the time taken for first 60% of the distance. It will give me what time taken for first 60% of the distance. Now, remaining 40% of the distance is again covered at this very same speed. So distance upon speed will give me what? Time taken for last or remaining 40%. So this is what? Time. This is what? Time. Both are these what? Time. Now it is given to us the time taken for first 60% of the distance is 10 more than the remaining. 10 more than the remaining. So remaining time taken for remaining distance was this. 40% of x by 48. This was the time taken for the remaining distance. So if you add 10 minutes to it, you will get what? Time taken for the first 60%. Solve this, get the value of x. So you can see this is 60%. I'm keeping it 60% here, 40% here. So it becomes 40% of x plus 480 equal to 60% of x. Over here 480 in the denominator, over here 480 in the denominator. 48 cancelled out. Now solving this, taking this 40% of x on the other side. So 60% of x minus 40% of x becomes what? 20% of x. Okay. And if you solve this further, so it becomes 480 upon 20%. It becomes what? Solve this. 20%, 20 upon 100 into x. 0 0 gone, 2 and 5 gone. Just a second बच्चों, हमने कहीं हाँ I made a mistake here. Just a second, kindly correct this. See, these values are in kilometer per hour. See, speed is in kilometer per hour and this x is in kilometer. But this 10 was what? This 10 was minute. This 10 was what? Minute. So rather than writing it like this 10 should be written 10 by 60 here. Convert this 10 minutes into hours. Why? Because your distance were in kilometer and your speed was in kilometer per hour. So convert this 10 into hours first. Right? Now 40% of x, if you solve this now, 40% of x upon 48, and this becomes 1 by 6 equal to 60% of x upon 48. Now if you solve this, you will get the option B as your answer. Value of x will be what? Option B here. Okay, let me solve this for you further. So taking it becomes 40% of x plus 8, right? And further, yes, it becomes upon 48 equal to 60% of x upon 48. Guys, now I hope you can solve it. If you solve it further, answer gonna be what? Answer will be 40. Option B is the right choice here. I hope guys this is clear to everyone, huh? Kindly make a note of it.